Hello, my name is Drew McOnie and I am the director and choreographer of Merlin. I'm really excited to be able to work with Northern Ballet because they are without doubt one of the best companies when it comes to storytelling. Such an amazing classical company, being such brilliant storytellers, for me is an absolute dream. The opportunity to work on something like Merlin is also exciting because, of course, he's a very famous character, but doesn't necessarily come with a famous story. We are able to kind of leap into this journey, taking the famous characters like Lady of the Lake, like Merlin, like Morgan Le Fay, and weave together a story that feels incredibly contemporary, incredibly visceral and of now. One of the things that we settled on also quite quickly was that we wanted this story, wanted this production to be very kind of appealing to families. And now that isn't specifically for children, it's also not specifically for adults. The idea that kind of groups of people could come together and see this story, and those people be of any age and from any kind of background, was really important to us. You know, thinking about creating a modern ballet, what does that mean? And what is the opportunity to come into the darkness with the audience and be able to tell a story that hopefully represents them and relates to them? It brings me on to this thought about how do we represent people within the story, and in particular I saw it as an opportunity to be able to present gender in such a kind of exciting and thrilling way. So I really made it my mission through the ballet for the women in the company to be strong, to be vital, also romantic and deeply complex and deeply layered. And so in our ballet, the Knights of the Round Table, who of course are kind of iconically this stuffy group of men who sit around a table, in our ballet they're both men and they're women, and they play as such. This isn't women pretending to be men. This is fully integrated, gender kind of like balanced production where the women are warriors, they're soldiers, you know, brilliance that we want to see on stage. And there's one character in particular that I think is really exciting, and that's our kind of representation of Morgan Le Fay, who is kind of like iconically the bad fairy. But in our production, we have a slightly more of an understanding of how she arrived at this kind of wickedness, and kind of rooting it into, rather than a simple representation of good or bad, we have this really kind of like super kind of cool, powerful, deeply rooted woman at the heart of our centre. And that kind of also ties into this idea that the ballet, I hope, has many layers to it, that actually there are certain aspects of the story that will be really appealing to younger audiences: bright colours, dramatic battles, fairies, princesses, warriors. But there's a kind of like narrative layer that kind of runs through, which can actually approach a kind of an older, a more mature heart and mind in a way that I think will be really kind of impactful in the great ways that the kind of Disney Pixar does. So my hope is that you kind of follow along with this very intimate story of a young man finding out what family could mean to him, an epic adventure essentially to arrive home. But I also want you to kind of take away from it, like I say, epic battles, huge romance, you know, heart-stopping music, breathtaking illusions, puppetry, costumes that kind of collide, Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings. And of course, the last thing we need to complete our story is the audience. So we hope to see you there.